Hey, what's up, guys? Spinning Dude here with a video, and today I'm going to be making a Your Bizarre Adventure tier list based on combat, so no farming or anything like that. Um, Basically, what I'm going to be rating these things on is um, not only the stand, like the compatibility and how good they can be with certain specs. So yeah, let's get right into it. Aerosmith. Aerosmith is a really good stand, and basically what it's used for is actually a placeholder. Mainly, people use Aerosmith with Pluck, and they primarily use Pluck, and they'll do a combo. And then once that combo is done, they'll use Aerosmith as a placeholder to stall the enemy within a safe range, use the Vol Barrage, and knock them back with the bombs until their moves are back on cooldown. And then keep on looping that until the enemy is dead. So I'm gonna have to give Aerosmith a good A tier. Beach Boy. Beach Boy is a really good stand. It got nerfed pretty bad, but its utility is still pretty decent. So essentially, what you use this for is not for getting teamed on or anything like that, but it is really good in terms of 1v1s. Like, sure, some of its moves are blockable now, and not even parry, just like straight up blocking. But it's still really good as long as you can hit the first thing, then they'll be fucked. Um, I really like Beach Boy, but I'm not good at it. It's a heavy hitting stand with lots of slows and knockback, and it can easily just bring you back just to do the same thing over and over again. I recommend you use Harmon with this just to maximize the damage because that's what it's good for, the heavy hitting damage. And I'm going to have to give it a B tier since some of its moves are blockable now. Crazy Diamond. Crazy Diamond is actually really good. It's probably the best all-rounder in the entire game. Essentially, Crazy Diamond's good at healing. It's good at damage. It has one ranged move. It has defensive moves. It's got everything you want. So I'm going to have put Crazy Diamond in A tier ahead of Aerosmith. Cream. It's not that good at 1v1ing because its moves are readable. You can literally dash out of the Z even when you're crippled. Its T is blockable, which makes absolutely no sense at all. 1v1s isn't what this stand's good for. This stand is extremely good under pressure, like in 5v1s, 3v1s, 2v1s, even more, like just getting teamed on. The stand is really good at. It's not good at teaming because you'll just end up like killing half of your teammates because it's heavy hitting and it slows them. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give Cream a C tier. D4C. This stand's an okay all rounder. I have to like pair it up with Cream because sure it has more range and its moves are easier to hit, and it has passive moves as well, like Dimension to run away. D4C it's not that good. It doesn't have that much damage output. I'm gonna have to put D4C ahead of Cream in C tier. Gold Experience. After it got its two damage nodes, it started getting good. Then it ramped up, got a new move, the Frog Life Form. It literally delimbs them, and it does somewhat mediocre damage. So, with all that, I'm going to have to put Gold Experience in B tier. Harmon Green. You can rush people with Emerald Barrier, just hit them, like click and use Barrage, and then when it starts to fade away, then use Emerald Splash as a placeholder, and then do the same thing over and over again, and they'll for sure be dead. Unless there are six pistols, because they might easily just dash out of it. But yeah, Harmon Green is definitely A tier. I'm going to have to put it ahead of Aerosmith. If there was a way I could put them like on top of each other or whatever, I would because it's like as good as Crazy Diamond, if not better. So I think I actually just might put it ahead of them. Hermit Purple, it's not good. Like it got nerfed, but as soon as something else got released after it, like Scary Monsters and D4C, it got easily outclassed. Essentially, what it was used for was slowing, like in a team, and finding other people that you couldn't find in like SBRs per se. It was decent at 1v1ing, but it was easy to parry. So yeah, I'm going to leave it in D tier. So King Crimson base form is actually going to be so much better than KCR. KCR won't have the chop, but regular KC will. And I find that amazing because, first of all, regular KC is so much more manageable. It's easier to get. and everything is just, in my opinion, high B tier. So Killer Queen base forms best played passively. So you're able to do extremely good damage with AoE. So I'm just gonna leave it to high C tier. Mr. President, this stand is fucking insane. Um, Mr. President is a really good stand. It's probably one of the best non-humanoid stands. You trap them, shake them once, wait for them to pose, go in the room while they're least expecting it, start comboing them, get out the room, and shake again, and keep on looping that cycle. You don't want to take them out the room, actually. You want to let them get out the room yourself, so as soon as they're out, you'll be able to trap them again. Because if you take them out, there will be a cooldown on kidnap. And if you wait for them to get out themselves, you'll be able to shake another time. So yeah, that's a little cool fact about Mr. President. Definitely going in A tier above Aerosmith. Magician's Red. This stand is honestly disappointing after I figured out how easy it is to counter these. Magician's Red has the ability to apply damage over time by burning you, right? So essentially, the part that was good about this stand is that you were able to stack flames and do massive damage over time. But I figured out if you dash while you're on fire, and this counts for Space Ripper Singing Eyes, you literally will not be on fire anymore. You could just dash and it'll be gone. So Magician's Red will be in D tier, ahead of Hermit Purple. Purple Haze. Honestly, this would have been one of the best soloers, just like Cream, but Uzu said that they would rework Purple Haze a tiny bit, where they would remove Rage and make it so you just can't use the virus on yourself. Like, you can't get damaged by your own virus clouds, but Rage would be removed, obviously, and your base damage would be upwards. So it's like kind of a plus, a little bit. The only thing that you're throwing away is the defense that Rage gives. So I'm going to have to put it. It's going to be the last in D tier. Silver Chariot. Its T isn't necessarily easy to hit. Like, it's not hard to hit at all, but it's definitely not the easiest move to hit. And most of the time, you can't afford to miss it as a Silver Chariot because your T and your Y are like your moves when it comes to damage output. And like, you just don't want to miss your T. So I'm going to have to put Silver Chariot at the highest point of D tier. Sticky Fingers works with every spec in the fucking game, and I can say that with confidence. Sticky Fingers, with its new like little zipper uppercut move, that is a really good addition. You can use T, get them towards you. Use your C, slow them, and then you can use the little uppercut thing, and then when they're up, you barrage them. It's a perfect combo, and it's easily loopable because Sticky Fingers has really, really generous cooldowns. So Sticky Fingers is going second place in A tier. Okay, Scary Monsters. This stand was actually really overwhelming when it first came out. It got some minor nerfs, didn't really affect its gameplay, but it got easily outclassed as soon as Love Train came out. So I'm going to have to put it in C tier. Sex Pistols, it works with every spec in the game, usually because when you have with Sex Pistols, you use the spec primarily, and you use the Sex Pistols like passively, like you don't use it as much as you use your spec's moves. And for the reason I say that is because it's dash passive. Like, that's really all you need out of it if you're going to main a spec. But on top of that, the reason why it's really good with specs is because its skill tree is generous. You don't have to get all the moves for Sex Pistols. You can just get the auto homing one and either the upgrades for just the regular shots, or you could just straight up forget about the regular shots and you could upgrade the rapid fire. Anyways, yeah, Sex Pistols, definitely it is the best out of all C tiers. I would put it to lower B tiers, but it doesn't necessarily compare to anything on here. Anyways, Star Platinum is the only stand in the game with a Requiemable form that you can actually compare it to, because they're not like, Star Platinum isn't just like a worse version of its Requiem. It's like it's just a completely different stand. Star Plat Prime is a really good all-rounder. Heavy hitting. It can slow with its Starfinger, and its Starfinger can actually damage stack if you're lucky enough sometimes. You have Rage and Harmon. Star Plat Prime has Air Suck, and that is extremely good for chasing runners. Self-buffing with its rage, it can self-buff its defense and its damage output, and TS. It just has everything. So I'm going to have to put Star Platinum to second to highest A tier. The hand. I don't know why it got nerfed. Like, I don't know why you can parry the erasures now. It makes no sense. Because actually the erasures are already hard enough to hit as they're slow hitting, lack of range, and any move in the game can cancel it. You can be midway erasure animation and somebody can literally click you and nothing will happen. Like that's the reason I'm like confused about why it got nerfed. I'm gonna have to give the hand highest B tier. World Alternate Universe was super underwhelming when it was released. It is literally just a copy of the world, but it has more range accessibility, which is kind of stupid in my opinion because it's supposed to be close ranged. And so I'm going to have to put the world alternate universe second to highest D tier. Regular the world, this is something actually manageable. The world is definitely going to be lowest B tier because it's kick barrage. White album, like you can slow people and they can't do anything about it because while you're slowing them, and you can fling them too, which is super fucking cancerous. You can fling them and slow them, and they can't reach you with their range because you'll be faster than them. So you'll easily be able to walk away while flinging and slowing them. And they can't use their range because it deflects projectiles, which is why this is literally the best thing in the fucking game for trolling. So without a doubt, this is the highest D tier. D4C Love Train. This stand is actually not that bad. It is very good when you play it passive aggressively. You can use Love Train and barrages and stuns and everything. Like there's nothing stopping you from using Love Train. So yeah, D4C Love Train, it's a niche. Like it works with boxing and Harmon, not really with vampire. It already has somewhat of a healing advantage, as in like you can just go in your dimension, run away, get out of it, and pose. You don't need healing when you can just do that. And fucking Love Train as well. And D4C Love Train takes too much points for it to be compatible with Pluck. So yeah. And their like moves don't necessarily collide. So high B tier. Definitely worse than the hand in my opinion. World Experience Requiem, this shit's a fucking beast now. It came from worst to best Requiem. Um Actually, if you didn't know, you can barrage and you can use all your moves during the barrage. So it's fucking insane now. So if you're in a barrage lock with somebody, you can barrage, use RTZ while barraging, use life forms, both of them, like both of your life form moves while barraging, and they'll most likely be under half or fucking dead by the time you're done. And that will all be happening during Awakening and Harmon Charge. So they'll be fucked and an infinite death. So yeah, GR's definitely a fucking S tier. SCR. Speaking of it came from worst to best, this shit came from best to worst in a single fucking update. Explain why. SCR was primarily used for SBRs, and the funny thing about that, right? It's sleep aura, you can't use it at the last stage. And that's the only reason anybody would ever use it in SBRs. Sure, to pick off people in like Devil's Palm, but that works like 40% of the time. You usually just get your ass handed to you when you do that. Unless you're like well coordinated team, then I understand. There's not much to say about this. You should only use boxing. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to give this a low A tier. But no, it's gonna have to be like a lowish A tier. So like I'd say a bit like mid A, actually like mid A tier. Because it's not shit, but actually, nah, because like, dude, it literally can't even slow people in Pilot anymore. That was the main reason why it was good. I don't know why they did that. Anyways, yeah, I don't even know what the fuck they did to SCR. Yeah, rip. Star Planet of the World, really good offensive unit. Reason why is Beatdown. It is not an offensive move. After its nerf, it is the least offensive damaging move in the entire game. And here's why. It is not used for damaging, but it is used for actually a placeholder, it's like slash staller. So essentially what you're doing is you're reserving another person. Say if you're in a gang war, like a 5v5, you're you're reserving one of the people. You're preventing them from healing because it does as much as damage as you heal per second. So like you're kind of just like not doing damage to them, but you're also preventing them from healing because you're like neutralizing it, I guess, and you're healing at the same time because there's nothing damaging you and you're both invulnerable. That's why Star Platinum the World's a fucking S tier. It does lots of damage. It can instantly TS without rage. And it has Skull Crusher, Platinum Slam, really good moves, S tier. KQ Bites the Dust. This is a really good stand. It is the best passively played stand in the entire fucking game, without a doubt. This stand is... It's really good long ranged. It has AoE, so it's good under pressure. Not as good as Cream, I would say, because, I feel like Cream is like less readable and less dodgeable than this. I know Cream's readable, but like you can literally move around the fucking projectile. Sure, it's an explosive, but it doesn't take much to walk around the coins, not get hit by the bomb plant. I mean, now the only real threat about Killer Queen Bites the Dust isn't Bites the Dust, but it's the bubble bomb. It has extreme AoE. It might not look like it, but its hitbox is fucking insane. Trust me, I've used it for quite a while. It is a really good stand, and which is why Killer Queen Bites the Dust is the highest in A tier. Now, King Crimson Requiem. It's not good, and it's going to be nerfed. Like, it's not the worst out of the Requiems, like that's SCR, but King Crimson Requiem is soon to be the worst in the next update. Its damage is going to be nerfed. Its donut is going to be removed. It's going to be shit. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. The last couple seconds of the video got corrupted. You didn't get to see, but King Crimson Requiem ended up being the last of the A tiers, like all the way to the back. Anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please comment, like, and subscribe for more. I also made a more in-depth description of each stand and like my recommended spec for each of them. It's a Google Doc, and I will provide it in the description. See ya. Peace.